clusterware management proficiency. Demonstrate how can you back up OCR and recovery strategy. Manage network setting. These are the objective of this. Okay, before that, there's a major change. One thing which you need to understand is now OCR and voting days are being stored in your ASM. Okay, that many people might have understand. We used to take the backup of voting days using DD command in 10G and other version. Now there is no need to take any more backup of voting days. Voting days information is being managed in OCR, and you can anytime generate your voting days using using your OCR registry. So that's an advantage which has been provided on the latest version. Okay. So what are the two major command line utility which you have been using? We can use is CRCTL. We're using this utility. You can start and stop the clusterware. You can enable and disable any demons. Enables and disable means when you say enabling is whenever you reboot or restart the clusterware, it is automatically started. If you have disabled that, then you have to manually start it. It will not start if you restart the cluster or you reboot the server. The third, very important, registering the cluster resources. Here all the resources like registering a database instance, listener, VIPs, all are being treated as resources. The other utility which you can manage is SVRCTL. This ideally manages all the Oracle related resources like database, listener, VIPs and other things. It does not interact with the major clusterware services. You have been provided also graphical interface utilities like Enterprise Manager, which is like database control. Means it's a built-in database if you don't have and the second is grid control. The major difference between grid control and database control is grid control is a centralized managed server and it can manage multiple database or multiple cluster installations. It is totally integrated outside that. Whereas database control is built in within the cluster in the database and you can use it with them. Okay, there's no license for grid control. You can use grid control without. The license is for if you are using pack like tuning pack or change management pack and all the packs. But the basic monitoring and alerting is not charged to you if you have an Enterprise Manager, Enterprise Oracle Edition license. Okay, there is a managing. See, before we do this, if you want to see the screen relocate and all that, actually ideally we'll have to run one script. The script, if you look at that, once you finish this exercise, is nothing but called silent database. Installing a silent database. This is nothing. This script is been run so that you can see the Enterprise Manager control, database control. So you can run the script and it will set up, but actually the same script environment will do in much detail. So I'll quickly run the script on the background. Okay, this has to be run using Oracle user. Okay. Okay. CD labs. Silent.
I have a question.
Yeah, good.
It's the instructions say to use the VNC session.
Okay, yeah, it's
What is that
VNC session. Okay, I think I am on VNC session already. I need to check. Okay, let me check.
Why is that needed?
Because okay, VNC session is needed because you are going to use the virtual terminator. Okay, if you are not using VNC session, what happens? Your installation fails. See, when you run the UI tool, okay, you need actually if you are running on a server, what happens?
It seems to work when you run it from SGD, from Secure Global Desktop, because I made that mistake of not using VNC, but the installer still.
Yeah. See, sometime it works. Sometime, if the display is not coming properly, it may create problem.
Okay.
Okay, but ideally they ask you to run through VNC Viewer because it's a full free phase. See, like you remember, I don't know who is talking here. I'm not able to
Tom.
recall. Huh?
Tom.
Yesterday, I think we run the sequence of the script separately. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Normally it did not affect, but you don't know. Sometime down the line it can hit us. Or sometime what happens, because that script changed the permission of directories. Yes.
Yes.
And
okay.
we don't know if some of the things has failed or written wrong. If you remember yesterday -R, I forgot and I was struggling to create directory structure.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes it's an ideal way, but yes, there are a lot of ways you can do it. It's not the only way. But yes, this is a good practice to using a VNC session. You can do it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
VNC server 1. I want to start VNC server. Okay. So it has told me it is running on 2. So that means maybe 1 is already running. Okay. So let's go to accessory, connect to VNC viewer. GR 9036.2 Oracle. Okay. So you got one more emulation. Many times it may be the case when this document was written, the interface was character based. Yes, they don't keep on modifying this document.
Yeah, I think it's meant for both remote and like in class. If you have in class, that's when I think when we need VNC. But here we're connecting to the desktop directly, right?
So this is going to set the SSH. Okay, I'm setting up the SFS. It will ask me for the password. Oh, I have not set the environment variable. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me run this. Again SSH. It does not make any harm. Again you run SSH. Okay. instead of following all the steps whatever written here, okay, you run the script, then typing all this command. All this is available to you in the script. You can directly skip this and look at that. If you open this dvi silent.es, whatever you are trying to do, everything is done here. Okay, so instead of typing that command, you just run this. Okay, you can directly run from there instead of following from all this, typing this command so big and making mistake. .silent.sh is been provided. Okay, so why I run it on the background, it will keep on running on silent mode. Meanwhile, we can start our session. Okay. Okay. Now let's come back to our that. The first option which messed up the thing is when we talk about rack cluster where we talk about high availability. High availability means what? That means one node goes down, the service is moves to the other active node. Okay, and that is now in case there is a failure. So the process of moving from one node to other node is called relocate of the services. Okay, there are options. If you look at here, relocate, I can manually relocate also. Suppose if I am going to do administration on a particular node and there are certain services which are running, can I do it? Yes, I can go to Enterprise Manager or a command line and say, okay, select the service which I want to relocate. In that case, I have to queue from host. Automatically the host you have selected will come and to which host. If you, that will ask you for confirmation. Once you go do the confirmation, you can see the script. Actually, this is the script which is going to be executed by Enterprise Manager. CRSCTL relocate resource, my resource minus n to new destination. Okay, so my n is the new destination where it has to record where it was existing running. So relocation is done by system as well as you can manually relocate any resources. So that was the one of the topic. Okay.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
On the services, can you define what are the service? I don't know if you mentioned that yesterday or not, but can you tell us the difference between singleton and uniform services? How does that work?
Yeah, we will see. There is a full chapter on services. Okay.
Thing.
Okay, there's a chapter on services. We'll go through that. I'll just tell you when that chapter. Okay, so there is a chapter 6, services and all that. So we'll definitely cover what is singleton service and all that. Okay. This is the whole chapter 15th. Okay. So we'll just hold for some time. Okay. Looks like we have landed into some problem. I'll have to look at it. I think the problem is with it's not having the permission to create directory or no space, unable to create the directory structure. I think there's some problem with the mount 11.03 share D home. Okay. So if somebody want to troubleshoot, we have to go and check your VDB RSP file. Check what is the directory structure. It's trying to write it. U01 app Oracle shared home minus db home U01 app
ఏమో మీట్లో ఉంది.
This is root. No, it cannot be root. It has to be Oracle. That's why we are not able to create. Okay. Have we missed any steps? We run the scripts. We run the script, yes.
అయితే నీకోసం చేతి తెప్పించింది చేరు చేతితో కట్ చేయకుండా ముందులో కట్ చేసేయాలి. మనం అప్పుడు కూడా కొట్టలేదు ఇలా చేతితో గుడ్డి కట్ చేసి లాస్ట్ టైం అదే చేతి చిన్నగా చేసేసి.
This owner has to be Oracle. This share DB home. The owner is not Oracle, that's why this is the problem. Okay. Has to be root, no problem. You can Oracle.
లేదు పరాటా ఎక్కడి అని చెప్పేసి.
So let's see.
లాస్ట్ టైం మన దగ్గర ఉండో కదా ఎక్విప్మెంట్.
Plus minus, yeah. We cannot just change directly. Okay. It was supposed to be changed directly, automatically. Okay. For timing we can change, no issues. But actually when you trigger that, see, my problem is when you have run this, you have put Oracle, it should give automatically the permission for Oracle. It has not even sent the group also OI install. Okay. Because every time you will have to do that. Okay.
బాగా నేను మిమ్మల్ని మిస్ చేస్తున్నాను.
You cannot change. Just payload.
ఎందుకు ఏం హ్యాపీ రిలాక్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. ఏం కాదు ఎక్కడ తింటాను.
But that we need to do on both the instance. Okay, sorry.
పెద్ద పీస్లో ఏం చేస్తారు బాగా. Close it. వచ్చేస్తుంది. అటు సైడ్ పెడదాం అది. కొంచెం స్లైడ్ చేద్దాం. అవి అప్లోడ్ పెట్టరా ఫొటోస్.
నేను చెప్పట్లేదు కదా నీకే కొత్త ఫ్యాక్టర్ చేసేస్తుంటే.
Let's see. I hope this time it should go. I think there's a problem with the directory.
ఇది ఎక్కువైపోద్ది.
001 app orc acfs 1120 share
అన్నీ పెట్టేసావు లోపల. క్లీన్ ఎగ్ డబ్బా ఫ్రిడ్జ్లో పెట్టా.
It's fine, there's no problem. Okay, let me check.
మీకు అందట్లా కదా, బాగుంది కదా. కొంచెం తగ్గితే బాగుంటుంది కొంచెం. అవునా? ఎవరుంటే నచ్చకో అనుష ఇది అనిందని చాలా ఫీల్ అయిందండి. కామెడీ అనుష కామెడీ కానీ అమ్మాయి నవ్వుతూ అంటుంది కదా.
Sorry guys, I think there's some problem with this directory structure, not what we were trying. ls minus l Oracle
Piyush Jobun Putra, nothing.
it's been change not minus or
అప్ప అంటే తమిళ్, అబ్బా అంటే తెలుగు.
this is again going to create problem because the AFS, I just want to see what is the directory structure. This is owned by root. This has to be owned by root. That when you have a sysadministrator and an Oracle DB who is going to manage the cluster, so there's a conflict whether we get the sudo access or how do we manage this CRS CTL, or we leave it to the sysadministration to manage the cluster. Okay, so that's a big debate. Ideally, in most of the organization, they provide you the sudo access to the root user. Okay, now if you want to disable a CRable on a specific node or at the well, you can say CRS CTL enable CRS. That means that whenever you enable means it will automatically start the CRS whenever you boot the server. Default it is always enable. suppose due to some maintenance activity, you don't want the CRS to come up whenever they are restarting, and they are trying to apply some Unix level patch or some work.